Well, here goes nothing. Welcome aboard if you're here. I'm probably going to be talking to myself for a minute. That's okay. This is the first time I'm doing a live stream. I don't know what I'm doing. But whatever. I figured it's worth a try. It'll force me maybe to work a little bit faster, maybe a little slower, who knows? There we go. That works. Cool. Well, let's close this then. There we go. I'm just trying to get started on this, make sure I have everything that I need. I'm going to see if I can share this with some peoples. So years ago, my wife and I decided we wanted to make something silly. Just talking about things that, pet peeves, things that aggravate people, right? And the things that I'm sure some of us, or most of us, are guilty of doing. But just stupid stuff, and I thought it would be funny to animate, and some of it like, people cutting you off in traffic and ending up at the same red light, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm a self-taught animator. My background's actually in computer science, and I've been an artist most of my life and a musician, but I'm by far and away. No, I'm not a professional animator in the sense that I've never worked for an animated studio or anything like that, but I enjoy doing it. It's fun, and as such, this is my process. I'm just gonna kind of just want to work alongside. I'm not even speaking right. I want to show you what I'm thinking, my process and stuff. I usually do it as an edited video, but I thought this would be kind of a cool way to try, because this way, I'm on the spot. So I created kind of a pain to do this. It would have been easier just to use. Currently, I use Harmony Advanced for creating these animations. And storyboard is extra money, and I just don't have that extra. I know it's a little bit, but it's just money on top of money. And since I'm working on myself, I didn't really feel like I needed the whole suite that it has. I almost got it, but nonetheless. So I created this, if you can see this on the screen, created this little storyboard template in Clip Studio. I've yet to use it. No, I did use it. I'm sorry. I used it for the next, not this current animation I'm doing, but the next one. So I have, actually, I don't need this open. Where? Let me see. See if I can find my files real fast. I have, yeah, there we go. Open. All right, so I have this. This is I'm on Pet Peeves number 10, and I started them years ago, back in 2017, and then took a long break because, well, reasons, life and things. And before I made that template that I just showed you, this is actually what I was doing. It just kind of like random, just an open sheet of paper, if you will, on the canvas, digital canvas. And anyway, just kind of mark it out, kind of similar to what they would do in a regular, in a studio, but just a little more haphazard. I don't draw the characters well when I thumbnail and when I do the storyboard, because it's my storyboard. I'm not giving it to anyone else, so I just feel like that's extra work. I know some people can do like animatics from theirs, but I prefer to do it this way. I do think that the storyboard is cool because you can create a storyboard from Harmony. You can create an animatic based on your storyboard, which I think is a really cool idea. But again, that money, I don't know, man. 20, it was like 20 or 30 a month or something like that. I don't know if I really need to fork that out just for. It doesn't seem like it's a lot, but it is when you're just doing this sort of right now as a hobby. I do want to try to turn this into something more, but we shall see. Anyway, my first time, I won't run my mouth this much, I don't think. Well, I probably will, but maybe not explaining this whole process again. All right, let's see. I have 19. Okay, so what I usually do is I do take from the studios. I take you thumbnail and then you record your, well, actually, I'm sorry, write your script, you thumbnail or storyboard that, and then run through your audio, which I have done. And I usually don't even bother putting all the text on screen like I did here. But I thought this might make it a little easier for me. And I also did something I hadn't done in the past, which was a turnaround sheet. And now my characters are really, really simple. So they're not, I don't need all dimensions, so to speak. This is just a reference sheet for me. So when I want to have one of the animals sitting down, and the squirrels, that's kind of what they look like when they're sitting down. They kind of look like they're still standing. So I didn't bother to create a sitting pose. And the bird, he's a bird. Birds don't really sit either. They just kind of stand. And so that's his form of sitting, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of half being real about it and realistic and also being goofy. So whatever. So I haven't, let's see, let me open. I haven't animated in a while. So I'm hoping this will go okay. And there's a bunch of stuff I forget how to do while I'm doing it, and I have to look it up. Let's see, do I have number 10 on here? Number 9. I don't think I do. Just make that Peeves number 10. I think that's all I need. Oh, I put the frame rate 24. I usually animate at 12 because I have a friend who that's an animator, and he prefers 24. I like 12 because it's just, I don't have to extend the frame count too long. And anyway, it just makes it easier for me because mine are more cartoony than the stuff that he does. So, blank screen. My wife is sitting right next to me working, so I'm aggravating her. Okay. I don't know if you could, yeah, I'm sure you could hear that. You can hear that. Okay, so let's see. I haven't done this in forever. It's a scene. All right. We have the drawing. That's right. If you just start drawing, it'll automatically pick that up. I usually animate while I'm listening to music and stuff, so let me pull that back up because I don't know what I'm. Oh, right. Okay, so I'm doing an establishing shot, this first one, and he's just going to be. I usually have it set so it's clipped like that so you don't see anything outside of what's being drawn. And I don't mind seeing it. I just like to make sure that I don't draw something that's important and not be able to see it. Okay. I have it set so that the extra lines are cut off. Let us see here. All right. What do I want to do here? I want a line. You know, that's fair. I didn't think about this. I usually do the backgrounds first before I do anything else. And I wasn't even thinking about that. So I guess I'm going to have to do some backgrounds instead today. Not a big deal. I usually do them in CSP, but I guess I could take the... Yeah, let's do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the image that I have of the thumbnails. I'm just going to do what I said about the storyboard thing. I just... Hang on. Where... Okay, so this guy here, I should be able to just take... Whoops. I should be able to just copy these into If I had them in layers, it'd be easier, but whatever. I can possibly just take this and yeah, I was going to lay that out. You know what? No, forget it. I'll leave this open as an image. Open this, put it over her. Usually I'm organized in this. It's just the first time doing this. I'm a little out of it. Let's see. Okay, custom. We need to have this set to an 80. I usually do them as wide animation, like longs, but I've been posting them as shorts on Instagram, things like that too. And that's been working out pretty well. So I don't know why. Why is there not? Yeah. Why is it written like? Huh. Anyway, it has the width over before the height, so I don't know why I'm thinking that backwards for some reason. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's see. Let's see how. So I am going to make the background, and if I just focus the animation sort of towards the center, I mean, I could actually make this sort of a with safe zones. I could do like if I were to, you know, if this were a 1080, you can actually kind of slice it like this, you know, and then all the action can be in here, and that way you can have it for the longs and the YouTube long videos as well as the shorts. I keep wanting to do it that way. Yeah, I don't know. I might just do it as a short. I have to think about that. But I have some of them as longs. I think they work really well as shorts. The only thing is, I have the intro and outro thing. I don't know. I'm just overthinking. Let me see if I can do that. If I do, wouldn't hurt. I can always cut these down to, if they're 1920 in height, those if I 4K it, that would work too. Okay, not really thinking this. So what I'm basically suggesting doing is taking a box over here that's X amount sized. I think it's 1080, right? So what's math? Okay, so 840. Oh, right. It's 960 down the center, and then half of 960 is 320 for 640. I'll get there eventually. Okay, so 480. If we get this somewhere in here, kind of creates like a safe zone. So if I want to, I can. I did this last time I created an animation, and I think it worked really well. That way, if you have it where it's set, if you use shorts and longs, I'm trying to say, and then you'll be able to do both of them without having to do much. A lot of time when I go to do these, you know, it isn't going to look right if you have it all. If it's all long, like if it's all formatted like for a vertical phone, you know, like this. If your phone, if it's vertical, only, and then you try to do a long, it's going to look, those big black banners, of course, and that doesn't look good. So if I try to do it this way, it might actually work in my favor. Let me just try it, and if I hate it, then whatever. Where am I trying to save this at? Let's save this as miscellaneous. And then we'll resave it, and then I'll save it under... Yeah. For 10, it is. Say background 1. All right, cool. I think I know what I'm kind of doing. It's not absolutely perfectly on 480, but not a big deal. Try it though. Why not? It's still kind of an aspect ratio. No. It's like, that's funny. Whatever. Get on there. Being way too precious about this right now. Set it that way. A little OCD about this. It doesn't matter. The hell? Do it once, I don't have to do it again, so that's cool. I'm just making this way more difficult than it has to be, but that's okay. All right, let's get these squares in there. It'll be good because I'm just going to use this as a safe zone from now on. I'm going to try that for a while anyway. Oops. I always move things around, try different stuff, experiment. Yeah, the whole point of Pet Peeves is to make a silly animation. Originally, it was just a goof. I mean, it still is. That's the whole point. It's for it to be funny. Let me... If there's anything that important on this PC, but... Where was it? Oh. Really need to restructure all this. Ah, crap. Safe zone. Yeah, there it is. That's fine. Oh, you know, I did do. This is for anyone who sees this later. I did make a background animate. I did a turnaround of all the animals. Very simple. That's what that sheet is. It's just to see how they might look. That's the little character sheet. Dog will turn around. And then female cat. It's the same. They're just different colors, those two cats. And the horse, he's actually the most dynamic. Then I think, oh yeah, there's a squirrel, female and male. The only real difference, she's a little smaller and she has a bow. There he is. Well. Anyhow. So I have, this is the safe zone. So let me just open. Okay. Close that one. I'll just use this as a template, which I figured out how to make templates in CSP. That was pretty cool. Quite happy with that. All right, so this imaginary box up here basically is what I'm trying to keep in mind when I make these animations now. So let's see. Let's see how much work can actually get done now. All right, so this is a shop. I don't know. I don't try to be too perfect when I make these animations either, because they're supposed to be funny, not overly thought out. I could put like visual gags on either side that you wouldn't see in the long, I guess, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm just one person. And I'm not basing this on any particular real world shop or anything. This is just my imagination here. As limited as it may be. Get on there. I usually draw this stuff by hand, so I don't know. If it's looking a little too stiff, then I might just do that. This over her. Move. Don't have to be perfect, I guess, but all right. What I normally would do, I'm just gonna try to do it real quick. This is how I usually do it. Like if I want a line going through here, just click there, hit Shift, and then straighten it out, and boom. And that same way of reference. That's good enough. And then when you draw like I said, I usually just do it like this. Click, you hit Shift. If you use CSP, you can draw straight lines really quickly. And it saves a lot of time. And it still gives it that, you're still using that natural look of the pen, so I like the way that looks. Yeah, all right. And then just a little door handle thing. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh god, that's terrible. 1, 2. That old school look of glass, right? Beautiful. And for no other reason than we're goobers. My wife and I have been calling them. We call them smooths. Yes, I know where it comes from. Oh, we're just idiots. Okay, so here's. Well, I am. She's not. Let's see. Smoothie shop. Yeah, this movie shop. I thought it was funny because, you know, it's animals. They can't spell. Neither can I, apparently. All right, so I don't know what I'm going to do for above the rooftop. I don't know. You know what? Just make it look like there's a... Here, let's be lazy. This is CSP after all. And it has a lot of really cool... What the hell? There's a really cool effects in here that you can use. Not just effects, but background stuff like buildings, concrete, things like that. Forget where everything is though. Like hatching, that kind of thing, and like as you can see, there's a building one in here somewhere. There it is. You can just go wink. Oh my god, that was terrible. Because I clicked that. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to overlay this, which is what I should do, and then do that, this. Just kind of a, you know, there. See? Boom. Background. You can just go like this. And then erase all this crap. Get around there. And it looks somewhat believable. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. It's a cartoon. I usually color it too, but what else are we gonna do? Oh, yeah, there should be a sidewalk in the front. That's terrible. What the hell I'm doing? Good enough. Yeah. Oh wow, no. Oh no. That's good enough. Oh, you know, there's probably going to be a window over here, shouldn't there be? Maybe here? Yeah, what does it matter? I'm not trying to be that wild about it. I'm not trying to be Tim Burton about it, but I think that works. If it's, as long as it makes sense. It's only an establishing shot anyway. You're not going to see this for more than a second. Oh, you know what? That's my lazy way of doing bricks. Boom, done. Then this would be the street. So if I color it, which I plan to do, I usually do, that should work. That way you can see, like, if you're seeing this in full view or in HD, you get to see this whole little section, and if you see it in vertical, you'll see this whole section. So that's kind of a neat way to do it, I think. Okay, well, background one is done. The cool thing about thumbnailing too is, I know I say cool a lot like a dork, but the good thing I should say about doing thumbnails is that you can create scenes that way and then decide how many backgrounds you should need. That's just how I do it anyway. So I should only need like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 tops total backgrounds for the whole thing. And I think the whole animation based on my audio, which is somewhere in here. Oh, I think it's under I use Reaper to record because I am a musician, like I said, and I know I use Reaper a lot, so I'm used to it. It's like the only way I know how to edit audio decently. It just has far more than you can get from any other DAWs just do better. That's what they're for. So if you don't know anything about a digital audio workstation and you do audio for animation or anything like that, you should learn. It's not as hard as it seems once you get the basic idea down. Where would this be? Back is my back is not happy, man. Oh, did it record in the other one? Reaper has this tendency to want to record to C drive no matter how many times you tell it not to. It's just defaults there even when you tell it to redirect. So what's that? Doc. It's the wrong doc. That's why. Reaper, where is my pet peeve audio? It bounced it down, didn't I? Entity. No, it is not in there. Crap. Oh. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can print. Don't worry about it. I thought I. That's the sound. Shame. Laughing at yourself over there. So, we do this all day, act like idiots. Okay. What the hell is the... Oh. Stupid. Details. There we go. All right, so my audio length is 41 seconds long. So, not bad, considering. I try to keep it short for shorts. Anyway, this is session number 1. This is the first time I've done this. I don't know what I'm doing, so I gotta get gotta get a feel for how to do all this. Hopefully this will be useful to somebody. Maybe you're just interested in what I'm doing. Maybe you're not. I don't know. Why are you here? All right, so yeah, I got her laughing about that one. Okay, so all right, Smoothie Shop. We got the name down. We've got yeah, very simple. See, I don't try to take too much time doing these because y'all ain't gonna see these but like 2 seconds. So what's the point? If I make, oh, that's a cheap trick. If I were to flip that, yeah, cheap trick, man. If I flip this, it'd be the inside of the restaurant from the outside shot that I need for when he leaves. I think that would be just fine. I think that's background whatever. Let's see, background 1, 2, 3. I guess that's background 6 actually. Save as duplicate. Background 6. You know, you can always just name them based on what they, you know, what they're going to be in the animation would probably make the most sense. All right, let's get that back open. All right, so all I'm going to do is flip this and delete everything that I don't need. So I'm going to grab all this. Oh, I don't need this. We're just going to take the... I'm just going to merge this down. If I had planned it better, I didn't think about that until just then, so I would have been able to just flip it around real fast. Let's just take here. Invert, delete that. And then do the same thing here. Hold on to your bridges. Oh, yeah. So the inside of the store doesn't have to be the same as the outside necessarily. And I didn't really have it planned. Come on now. it's like the outside of the store doesn't have to match perfectly to what the inside of the store looks like necessarily. But so see how this is the outside here. So we're gonna just do brilliant. I tell you, brilliant. So there could be a wall here or something like that, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's fine. Beautiful, I say. We don't need the sign up here at the top because they already know where they are, I would hope. And since this is the inside of the stole, we don't necessarily need these lines defining the outside like that. Okay, so this will be the scene where he kind of walks out the door. I had it planned where he's, you know, the door's going to animate here and all that. And if I have to, I can always make a secondary of this background and make that work. But if nothing else, you can use that as a background shot for as he's walking out and then switch it to an animated door. So I try to make as much of the animation the backgrounds as much as possible. Let's see. Make a copy of this. Duplicate. Ooh. I might add some more to that background and color and things like that, but I just want to get an idea. And then get that stuff in there. Because the cool thing about Harmony is that you can switch the drawings out very easily. It references the drawings. And you can, you know, pull them and update pretty easily. I don't know, I think it works better than Animate does. And plus, you know what? We're getting rid of Animate, so or if they already haven't, I don't know. I used Animate for a long, long time. So that kind of sucked. Let's see how much time I got. All right, I'm coming up close to an hour, so I don't know. I might cut it before an hour because these get long. I don't know if anybody's going to watch these later, but if you do, I really appreciate hanging out. If you did later on, if you hang out and watch this, I'm all alone. Nobody wants to be in here with me. I could have swore. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to do the second background real quick. And I think... Woohoo! Duncan made it. Yay, I'm not alone anymore. I'm not alone anymore, baby. That's Mr. Bread Smith there. A.K.A. Duncan Salmon Smith. The bread master, the bass master. The guitar, he's pretty much a master of everything. But anyway, I'm going to do my drawing. I think I'm going to do... Yeah, I think that's the easiest thing to do is try to... I don't know. Sometimes you draw the backgrounds, right? Hey, look, you got a king hat because you're the number one. You're the number one. Yeah. I don't know how to do this. Where's the... No, I can't do it. That's not what I want. Oh, there's so much craziness in here. Okay, let's see. I mean, if I know I'm thinking half of what I'm saying. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about because it's probably harder to explain than to see. So on this scene here, I'm going to have the background. And then two guys, he's going to be kind of in front of this computer, I think, and just playing with his phone. So I can do the background of the computer and the long counter. My wife and I like to go to a local smoothie shop, and they have a very long counter, so I think that'll work. I'm trying to be aware of where I'm at. Yeah, I think Duncan is at work, so he probably won't talk to me too much, and I don't blame you for that. Why is this stuck on here? Get off! There we go. Alright, so... Oh, right, I don't want that long. I'm trying to condense that. Where, oh, where could my drawing be? Oh. I lost my drawing, didn't I? Where is my... Oh, here we go. In my haste, I closed that and need it open. Alright, so he should be kind of... Yeah, that... I guess that works. It just needs to be, like, over in the center a little bit more like that. Something like that, I guess. Well, I can also crunch it down, I suppose. Not to be that big. That's what she said. I like it looking hand-drawn, personally. Not that there's anything wrong with using vector art. I use that too. I liked it. It looks kind of messy. All right. Again, this is the wide version, and I'm trying to... This is very difficult to do without having guides. I probably should turn that on. Yeah. No, I think you can... Can't you do this in here? Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. So let me just do that. I couldn't remember. You do it like Adobe. Man. What? Cool. At least gives me an idea of where it's going to be. All right, so he'll be... Yeah, that's a little bit more centered. So I need to move this over a little bit then. So, no. You do what I tell you. Okay, so that's like that. There you go. World's longest countertops. Cool. Doesn't have to make logical sense at all. It's a cartoon. Okay, so that should give him enough. Well, I don't know. Damn, I don't know if that's enough room. Very difficult to do. That might be better. He would be here, and then he's going to be over here. That should be right. Planning stuff is exhausting. All right, we're just going to give him a crappy monitor stand because, you know, he's at this move shop. They don't have all that kind of money, man. So, like, I'm trying to reserve the crazy style for my hand-free stuff. I mean, depth is fine, I suppose. Dan? Okay, that works. I guess I usually work a lot faster than this, but since I'm running my mouth, I want it to be completely quiet. Sure, you don't want to just sit here and listen to me. Maybe you do. Maybe you want me to shut up and just draw. I'm not your dad. Y'all don't watch Bruce 2. You need to go watch it. It's hilarious. Bruce 2 films, man. Broom stew. Okay. This one. Oh my god. What are you doing? There you go. So he's like a monitor. All right. As if he were checking you out using that. So later, he should be standing roughly here, and then the cat will be in front. So I need to move over a little bit more. Let me just clear this because this looks stupid. I don't like the way that looks. I mean, yes, it's cartoony, but I mean, it doesn't have to have 3 points of segmented lines. It doesn't make sense. That's fine. Whatever. Let us see. Let us see. Where am I at? I got a few minutes. All right. I'm just going to try to... Oh my god. I'm going to try to finish this background real fast. And then... You know what? This is aggravating me, and it shouldn't, but it is. I'm just going to do it again. Ah. All right, that's going to have to work. If I decide I want to change that later, fine. But for now, you know what? That's going to have to be what it's going to be. I'm not kidding. One of the place that we go to, their counters are stupid long. Let's see. Is there anything else that can make this look a little bit more interesting? I do have the bricks. Same thing. You know, lazy brick plaster. Because, you know, why not? And maybe like a light coming down. Because we can. I don't want the backgrounds to be too busy necessarily either. Because then it's a little bit too visually noisy. And it's, especially for cartoons. But, something like maybe this is a door. Hey, you know what? It'll be the bathroom door because it's funny. Why not? Doesn't have to make sense. They're a disgusting establishment. They don't actually shut their doors when people go pee and poop. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. What am I doing? It'll do. Oh, right. We need. Gotta do it. Easiest way is just to do a line straight and then delete it. Yes, guard your privacy. Don't share anything with anyone. Or have nothing in for anyone to take. Alright. I have to do. I mean, you could tile the floor. I'll probably just color it, you know. It doesn't take away the gag, I don't think. I don't know why that bothered me so much. Alright, so he should be able to stand roughly here, be on his phone, right on the edge of the screen. And the same for him. He should be able to stand right there. And if not, I guess I can always any bit more. I don't know. That might be better. If I just... Yeah, that's fine. A toilet gag. Wasn't even really planning on doing that. But I'm going to move it over here anyway. I think it's funny. Oh, you know, it's because... Alright, I know what's going on. This... Just make it a new layer so that I can move it separately. Be able to move over. There we go. Maybe right about there. I'm just trying to make it so like he's standing... Again, because those guidelines are gone, I guess. I didn't realize I did that. So that way you can see him standing here and then cat standing here. That way they're not completely like crushed against the side of the viewing port or the frame, as it were. Because I can get the cat to stand here and then... Yeah. And I want them to both be standing well enough inside the frame, regardless of... Where, regardless if it's HD or not, I want you to be able to see them well enough. So, but again, different experiences for different audiences. Whatever. All right, I'm gonna merge this back together. Lock it on down. I think that's okay. I'm just being an idiot about this. Okay, cool. That's good enough. I think that should work. If I were to draw, just for checking's sake, I'm going to put his, like a head and body kind of thing. And then if he's standing here, that shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, let's just leave that over there. Hold on. Go a little further. Hadn't we? Yeah. Okay, I think that's going to have to work. And lastly, I'm going to put this here back on there because I can. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Oh, is this lock it? Let's lock into the special ruler. That's why. All right. That's convincing enough. So I should be able to have the main action of the characters be like here and here. And then if I draw his body and his feet, you know, if you're seeing him long, you see enough of his body, and if he'll be behind the counter, just kind of leaning on it like that. That should be good. Well, we're coming on an hour. I'm just gonna head and call it for this because this is the first time I've done. Oh, hold on. I was gonna say, what the hell happened to my? All right, we will unlock those and merge. There we go. So you can see the bathroom joke, and if you're, if you can't see what I'm doing with my hands, but if you were to block off this and this, you're only going to see what's inside these purple line. Well, this section here in the middle, and then this section here, across this way for HD. So vertical format, wide format, that's my intention. Hopefully this will work and it's not going to be a pain in my ass. And if it is, I'll just do it for shorts because that seems to be more popular, especially on Instagram. Actually, I've had more success. So we shall see. I know no one's here today except for my friend Duncan. And but anyway, if you did see this later, appreciate hanging out. And don't forget to hit the button for the subscribe. And I don't know, I'm gonna keep trying to do lives just to kind of get an idea of, so I can see if anybody's interested in it, for one, and two, it kind of forces me to focus and get it done. So yes. Catch y'all later. Peace.